Have you ever found yourself analyzing every tiny movement your crush makes, trying to decipher if there's any glimmer of hope they might actually like you back? Maybe you caught them smiling in your direction, or you noticed an unusual sparkle in their eyes when you walked into the room. Suddenly, you're down an internet rabbit hole, reading article after article about body language, searching for clues and signs that point toward them liking you. Or maybe you're just seeing what you want to see. If you relate to this scenario, you're not alone. Our feelings can cloud our judgment, making it hard to distinguish between genuine signs of affection and friendly gestures. That's exactly why, in today's video, I'm going to help you decode the subtle, yet super important body language signs that often indicate someone has a crush on you. From telltale eye movements to involuntary gestures, these 10 signals will help you see the situation more clearly. And trust me, once you understand these signs, you'll never look at someone's posture, gaze, or facial expression the same way again. Let's get started. Number 1. The eyebrow raise. One of the simplest yet most telling signs of interest is the eyebrow raise. This may seem minor at first glance, but it's more significant than you might think. When we see someone we're attracted to, or even just interested in, we might reflexively raise our eyebrows. It's almost like our eyebrows are reaching upward in excitement or curiosity, wanting to get a better look at the person before us. Imagine walking into a party and spotting your crush across the room. You lock eyes momentarily, and in that fraction of a second you notice their eyebrows flicker upward. This brief raise can happen so quickly you might question if you even saw it. But if you catch it, especially if it's paired with a friendly, intrigued expression, that's a green light that you've piqued their interest. They might maintain the look for an extra beat, or even tilt their head as if to say, "Oh, hey, you're here!" Now that you know how important even a small eyebrow movement can be, let's move on to something a bit more prolonged, and even more revealing, how your crush looks at you when they think you're not paying attention. Number 2. The lingering gaze. If the eyes are windows to the soul, then a lingering gaze is practically an open invitation to peer inside. When your crush holds eye contact with you just a bit longer than expected, it can speak volumes about their feelings. This prolonged look isn't a casual glance, it's a deliberate act of focusing on you and absorbing your presence. Think of a scenario at a cafe where you're both part of a larger group. Conversation is going on all around, yet every time you glance over, they're already looking at you. When you meet their eyes, they don't just dart away in embarrassment. They hold your gaze, maybe smile, and then eventually break eye contact with a gentle turn of their head. That extra second or two might as well be an eternity in flirt time. It shows that they find you interesting, maybe even mesmerizing, and can't help but keep looking back. But let's not just rely on the eyes. Body language is often about how the entire body subtly shifts to indicate interest. In fact, a slight tilt or lean is our next sign, and it can be incredibly telling. Number 3. The lean in. When we like someone, romantically or even just in a friendly way, we often lean into them during conversation. It's almost as if our body is trying to reduce the physical space between us. This is particularly noticeable in group settings, where the person of interest will angle their shoulders, torso, or even their feet closer toward the person they're attracted to. Picture this. You're sitting at a friend's birthday dinner, and your crush is right next to you. As you start chatting about a random topic, you notice that they shift their posture to face you, leaning slightly closer with every exchange. Their shoulders square off in your direction, and they're not even aware they're doing it. It's a completely subconscious display of interest. If they also tilt their head toward you when listening, that's another sign of rapt attention. Leaning in might give you an idea that they want to be closer physically, but what if their actions are mirroring your own? Our next sign focuses on one of the most fascinating aspects of body language, the mirroring effect. Number 4. The mirroring effect. Mirroring is a powerful form of nonverbal communication that often goes unnoticed. When someone likes you, they might unconsciously start matching your posture, your gestures, and even your speaking pace or tone of voice. This happens because we humans are wired to synchronize with people we feel connected to or fascinated by. Let's say you're at a casual get-together, standing around talking. You take a sip of your drink, and a moment later your crush does the same, almost in unison. You cross your legs, and not long after, they do too. Or maybe you're both sitting, and you notice that they rest their hand on their chin at the exact moment you do. The key is that it's not a deliberate copycat maneuver. It's more of a subtle reflection of your movements. When we're in sync with someone, our bodies show it. Mirroring might hint at a deeper level of emotional rapport, but one of the more direct signs of romantic interest involves touch. Let's explore how subtle touches, even fleeting ones, can give away your crush's real feelings. Number 5. Touching and tactile gestures. Physical contact is a powerful indicator of attraction. If your crush likes you, they might find little excuses to touch you, whether it's a gentle tap on your shoulder, a playful nudge, or a friendly hug that lingers for just a moment longer than normal. These touches aren't random. They're often a subconscious way of creating a bond and testing the waters of reciprocity. Remember that time your crush laughed at one of your jokes and playfully placed their hand on your arm? That small connection can act like a spark. If their hand lingers or they smile while doing so, it's a strong indication that they're comfortable with you and enjoy physical closeness. Another scenario could be when you walk alongside each other and they casually bump into you or gently guide you through a doorway with a hand on your back. These instances of light, friendly contact can speak volumes, showing they're at ease and drawn to you. But sometimes those very touches reveal that they're not just comfortable around you, but also a bit nervous. Which brings us to our next sign, a little paradoxical yet undeniably telling: nervous fidgeting. Number 6. Nervous fidgeting. Crushes can make people anxious in an exciting way. If you spot your crush fidgeting whenever you're near, tapping their foot, playing with their hair, or adjusting their clothes more than usual, it could be a sign that they're trying to manage the fluttery nerves that come from being around you. Picture a time you were both waiting in line for coffee. As soon as you start talking to them, they begin twirling their hair, cracking their knuckles, or shifting their weight from one foot to the other. They might also straighten their shirt or jacket repeatedly, or take random sips of their drink as if they're trying to figure out how to act cool. That nervous excitement often translates into small, seemingly restless gestures. If their eyes are constantly darting around but then snap back to you, it might indicate they're worried about saying or doing the wrong thing. But they truly want to stay engaged with you. Of course, not all signs of attraction are nervous or subtle. Some can be as radiant as a big, genuine smile. Let's move on to the next crucial body language sign, one that's sure to brighten your day. Number 7. The genuine smile. A warm, genuine smile is a universal sign of happiness, openness, and often attraction. But how do you tell a real smile from a polite, forced one? True smiles involve the muscles around the eyes, those telltale crinkles at the corners, and often the entire face lights up. The moment someone genuinely grins upon seeing you, it's a strong sign they're excited for your presence. Let's say you're at the gym and your crush walks in. The second they spot you, it's like their whole expression shifts from focused workout mode to a bright, eye-crinkling grin. They might walk over and greet you with an enthusiastic, "Hey!" and that grin doesn't fade even when they're done talking. Alternatively, consider a time when you surprised someone by showing up unexpectedly. They might break into an uncontrollable smile, sometimes with a slight blush. That pure, unguarded joy can't be faked, and it's a strong indication you play a special role in their day. But liking someone isn't all in the face. Sometimes how your crush behaves physically in your environment is equally telling. This takes us into protective or territorial behaviors, an often overlooked sign that you're special in their eyes. Number 8. Protective or territorial behaviors. When someone likes you, they might show signs of wanting to protect or be near you, even in a low-key way. This can manifest as them stepping closer if someone else invades your personal space, offering you the seat next to them, or even placing an arm along the back of your chair, almost as if they're staking a claim but in a subtle manner. Think of a time you were out with a group of friends and seating arrangements got shuffled. Your crush immediately offered you the seat beside them or gently guided you away from a crowded spot. Another example might be if you're walking on a busy street. They position themselves on the side closer to traffic, effectively shielding you from potential harm. They might not even realize they're doing it. It's just an instinctive drive to keep you safe and comfortable. Sometimes, if another person tries to flirt with you, your crush's posture may become stiffer, or they might lean in to be part of the conversation, subconsciously showing a little possessiveness. From territorial instincts, we move to a simpler but equally potent clue: the orientation of feet. Yes, you read that right. Where a person's feet point often reveals who or what they're most interested in. Number 9. Feet pointing. It might sound surprising, but where someone's feet are pointing can be a strong indicator of their genuine interest. We tend to orient our toes toward the person or thing that holds our attention. This subtle, subconscious behavior often goes unnoticed, but it's worth paying attention to if you want a surefire sign someone likes you. Suppose you and your crush are in a study group, sitting in chairs arranged in a circle. While everyone chats, notice where your crush's feet are pointed. If even in a casual setting, maybe they're talking to someone else across the circle, their feet consistently angle toward you, it's a clue you're on their mind. Or let's say you're at a bar or coffee shop with them. If you're standing face to face, watch to see if their feet remain locked in your direction, even when they turn to glance at something else. This unwavering stance is a giveaway that, in their mind, the real focus is on you. Finally, let's talk about a classic, often embarrassing indicator that someone's feeling the heat around you, the blush. This next sign can be one of the most charming and revealing expressions of attraction. Number 10, the blushing factor. Last but certainly not least, blushing is a dead giveaway that emotion is bubbling just beneath the surface. When we get flustered or feel strong emotion, like excitement, nervousness, or outright romantic interest, the capillaries in our face can dilate, causing that all-too-obvious flush of color. Imagine complimenting your crush on their new haircut. They smile and say thanks, but then you notice their cheeks are turning pink, no matter how hard they try to maintain composure. Or maybe you bring them a small gift, and suddenly their face and even the tips of their ears go rosy. Blushing is often involuntary, which makes it one of the most honest indicators. People can try to hide it by looking away or covering their face with their hands, but that natural reddening is tough to mask. If you see it happen right after you do or say something sweet or flirtatious, take it as a strong sign that you're more than just a friend in their eyes. These signals speak volumes without a word ever being uttered. They're nature's built-in way of telling you, hey, I'm into you, even when the person can't find the right words or isn't ready to say it out loud. Keep in mind that not everyone exhibits these signs in the same way, and context matters. One or two signs by themselves might not confirm romantic interest, but if you notice a cluster of these behaviors repeatedly, you can be fairly confident that there's a spark between you. Most importantly, remember that communication and honesty are key. If you find yourself playing detective too often, consider a friendly, direct approach. Spark a conversation, share a laugh, or find simple ways to spend more time together. Chances are, if they're showing these signs, they'd be thrilled at the chance to get to know you better. Thanks for watching, and good luck deciphering those sneaky, subtle signals. And who knows, maybe the next time you catch that special someone raising their eyebrows or pointing their feet your way, it'll be the beginning of something truly wonderful.